Hey, what's up? Good morning. Another Saturday live episode. How are y'all doing today? Jake, how's it going, man? I just put this on there, so some of you are not going to even know it's here yet. Sorry about that. It's hot. This is going to be a hot summer. I mean, it just turned summer, and it is hot. Hot. I think actually summer begins in a couple of days, and it's hot. So we're gonna have a hot summer. So I think we had the White Suit, Black Widow, and the Taskmaster go up, right? War Machine Mark One, set aside also again to have one of those diecast added to my collection. Um, I have one already, but it's on display with the Iron Man Mark Six and the Whiplash Mark Two. So I want to put one up here with my War Machines, and actually have a Mark One up there too. It's a nice suit. So it's a reissue. I don't remember if it was exactly like the one as a reissue, or I don't remember. I'm sorry what it is actually. So how are y'all doing? Imagine it's hot where you are too. Unless you're on the other side of the universe, um, then you're heading into winter, like Australia, Singapore, that part of the world. You're not seeing hot. You're about to see cold. So I've got stuff coming in. Big Bad Toy Store said they're sending me my Fison mail figures. I think the 33 and the 35 or something. I forget which ones I ordered. I've got the 34. I have a bunch of Star Wars figures here I could go through. I have a Doctor Strange from Doctor Strange that I can open up. Captain America First Avenger and then the Winter Soldiers. Let's do those. We'll open these up today. This set for Winter Soldier, two-piece set. And First Avenger, Star Spangled Man version. Again, I never thought I would need more than just one Captain America. And the first one I bought was the Age of Ultron version. So that was great. And now I'm trying to play catch up. Jake, save on Mason. Hopefully y'all watched Loki on Wednesday. That literally at the end of that episode, I said, "Wow!" So it's really good. Um, if you're not a subscriber to Disney and you haven't been watching it, I highly recommend it. It's worth whatever the Disney subscription costs a month, $13 or whatever. It's well worth it, and it also will give you an opportunity to see the WandaVision, um, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, um, the Mandalorian series, and hell, every single Simpsons episode is on Disney. By the way, if you're a Simpsons fan, so and I'm not getting Disney's not giving me jack. I have to pay for my Disney subscription, but so I'm plugging it like as if I get reimbursed by Disney. I don't get jack. So Disney don't advertise on this page. Anyhow, I recommend it completely. Loki is really was really good. I swear to God, after watching that episode, I went, "Wow!" So that's all I can say. I can't wait till next Wednesday for the next episode. And I don't know how many weeks they're supposed to be doing it. Whether it's six, like Black Widow, and I mean the Falcon and the Winter Soldier were, or how many episodes it is. But it's well worth it. Well worth it. Well worth the Disney subscription. And you can watch it on your computer. You don't have to have it on a TV. You don't have to have any cable um, subscription as long as you have internet. Watch it on your cell phone. It's well worth it. Well worth it. Matt 2310, how's it going? Universal Key, how are you doing? Mighty Ducks, that's on there. Yep, old and new. I mean, there's so much stuff on there, it's not even funny. It's well worth it. Well worth it. So this would be from when I guess he was being sent on his public tour as selling war bonds, I imagine. Is this what this is supposed to represent? Ineligible for the armed services due to his small stature and sickly disposition, the patriotic Steve Rogers instead volunteered for a top secret military experiment called Project Rebirth. Recognized for his valor and strategic aptitude, Rogers was injected with the super soldier serum, which transfigured his cellular structure and transformed him into the perfect physical specimen. Heightened endurance, increased strength, and an indestructible vibranium shield give Rogers an edge in combat, but it is his courage and unwavering dedication to the greater good that will shape him into an enduring symbol of freedom, Captain America. So it's interesting, um, being reminded of his patriotism, which seems nowadays people want to shun. How dare you be patriotic? How dare you love your country? It's insane. I mean, this was from a time during World War II, is what the story goes back to Captain America here, and people were so patriotic for their country that he couldn't get into the service to join. So he went through every possible venue to try to get into it. And there are stories of people that had done that in real life, had gone through means, 16-year-old people, women that weren't allowed to fight, had gone in there and just because of their patriotism and love for their country, had joined the service to fight the war because they believed in something. And it's sad. It seems that people just don't have that belief or faith or dedication to stuff anymore. They wouldn't do it. Just seems that way nowadays. Just seems that way. So nothing else. Just this one clamshell. Little extra piece here. It's got some things in it. I don't know what this rifle is with this round magazine, but it has one of those. It's pretty neat. And I do know what this is. 1911 military pistol. I imagine it would have been the Colt. I think Colt was the one that invented it. It's Colt 1911. This one appears to be molded solid. Very unusual. I don't feel the ability to rack the drop, pull the slide back. Doesn't feel like it moves out. The cartridge comes out of it though, with a round in it. I mean, I might be wrong, but I don't think I don't think you can chamber around in it. I don't believe it slides back. Looks like it's completely solid. When was this made again? (2013) Hot Toys figure. Thomas, how you doing? Good morning. Did it 16. Joined the service. How about that? It's amazing. It's amazing. Plastic shield. Zipper on the back of the uniform could quite possibly be removed. I see it looks like a standard neck underneath there, so it's quite possible you could put on this a regular head sculpt if you want. It's got a fat suit on, so there's this foam padding over the standard body to beef him up. You can see some of it right there. By the way, I got my tickets to Black Widow Thursday at 5 p.m., July 8th. I'll be seeing the movie. Really looking forward to that. I think I talked about it last week. One of the most important things I noticed was Robert Downey Jr. slated as having an appearance in the movie. He'd been denying that for years. I've been telling you, y'all need to hold off for Black Widow before you telling me which one the Mark 49 is. Before you continue to tell me that Pepper Potts is in the Mark 49. I have a feeling we'll see a Mark 49 in Black Widow. Or a 48, one or the other. And whichever one isn't, that's what the Hulkbuster 2 will be. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. So I'm excited about seeing that. See if that comes true. Really brightly colored. Looks great. 8-year-old figure right here. Greatly colored. Could be a strap for his rifle. I'm not sure. Ah, look at this. Here's his enlistment papers, it appears. Got a little bag here. I'm pretty sure it's his refusal papers, his enlistment papers. So those little strips of tape, possibly. And you have these great little pieces of paper. See if I can read one of them. I really can't make it out. It appears to be legible, just not for me. Could be a diary, perhaps, of sequence of events. I can't really tell what it really is, to tell you the truth. It's something. It's something. I don't know what it is. Do any of you all know what this is? I do not. I can't read it. It's legible. I just can't read it. In a microscope, make out what it says. In-game cap, right? NKSG, how you doing, man? Singapore representing. I know you're looking to the colder weather now. Felix, how's it going, man? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Oh, this is neat. This military belt right here. With the shovel, the holster for his firearm, his sidearm, little pouches and stuff. That's cool. That's cool. So you can display him either as USO tour cap or put him in as his actually getting out there and fighting cap, right? Isn't that what he does? He goes out there to rescue the team in this uniform, right? He doesn't go in this uniform. He goes in this uniform. Then they give him this uniform, right? Isn't that how it goes? There's a belt of rounds. I'm probably going to spend a week watching all the movies before Black Widow. All of them again. Left-handed pistol holding or rifle holding hand. 2 fists on the figure. We have not as tight a grip left hand, and then kind of the finger trigger pointing hand on the right. Then we have the last set here, the relaxed hands, pair of relaxed hands. So not much to them. Neat pieces that do come with him. Obviously, great collection piece if you're a Captain America fan. And it shows you what these, there's the instructions, and it shows you the little pieces of paper to come with it. Let's see what it says. So it shows you to crisscross the this belt and what I assumed was the rifle strap, wherever I put that at. Right here. Those crisscross across his waist, his chest. This one goes this way, and the ammo belt goes this way. Shield goes to his left hand. Pistol goes into the holster, and then around his waist. And then notes on the shield. So those are notes on the shield. Use the brown tapes. Aha! Okay. So those were taped to the inside of his shield. He would use them to look at, to read to the audience about buying the war bonds. So that's what that is. Those are his notes as he was acting on stage of what he was supposed to say to the audience as he was doing his tour to try to sell the war bonds to help fund the war. There you go. That's neat. That's really neat. And then we have some wrist pegs. That's pretty neat. Now, I don't know whether or not that tape is going to be adhesive enough anymore, but to use it to more or less dog ear the paper onto the back of the shield. That's neat. That's really neat. So even if that tape doesn't have any adhesive to hold it onto anymore, maybe put some other adhesive, maybe like some paste glue, stick glue, put on the back of the paper, stick it to the shield perhaps, and then just attach that onto it. I don't know if that would work or not. Adhesive only lasts for so long before it starts losing its adhesiveness. So it may not hold that on there. Maybe if you use like a glue stick that you can just rub it on there, maybe some Elmer's glue. I really don't know. Just throwing some things out there that might or might not work in order to do that. So yeah, I'm totally sold on trying to get all the Captain Americas now. Where before I was like, I don't need them all. I only need one. I remember telling my wife that when I first started collecting. I only need one. I don't understand all these people that collect them all. I don't understand them. Why would somebody want to collect them all? What's wrong with these people? What's wrong with these people? I couldn't tell whether it was a new figure or not. It didn't smell like a brand new time capsule figure. But I'm pleased with him. Catch up on chat that I've missed. Maybe. Stick for there you go. Thank you, Felix. You were on top of it when he was on stage, so he did not forget what he was supposed to say. Thank you, Felix. Willie, what's up? New to the channel. Glad to have you, Willie. Welcome to the channel. Robert, how are you doing, man? Big waves to you, too. Julian Oven over there where you at. Her temps are in the, in the hundreds. Hitting over 100. And we're not even in summer yet. It's hot during the summer. I did not. Here's the problem with me on a sideshow coupons. I already own all the figures. So they're not, I never get to use the coupons on anything. It's unfortunate for me. I pay the full price on everything I get from sideshow. I just don't get to take advantage of any of the coupons. I've never been able to. Drop a Gorilla Glue. There you go. Can I have only that 3-0 Snake Eyes. Oh, looks good. The reviews seem to like it. There you go. Figure rocks and the price is awesome. All right, Felix, good. I was thinking maybe get a sideshow Captain America and that comic Iron Man from Hot Toys. Yeah, that one looks. I've actually, I've considered that too, to tell you the truth. I dismissed the comic Iron Man right off the bat because I'm an MCU collector, and he's not MCU, but I don't know. It does look good, and you can display him in like 4 different modes, which almost makes me think, all right, if I'm gonna buy him, I'm gonna have to buy it 4 times. Jeez. You have the 2 helmets, and then you have like this plastic casing you can display him in. So essentially it's 2 versions of each of the 2 helmets, which makes 4 versions you can display. God, don't get me started. I'll be buying 4 of those Iron Men so I can display each one of them. Snake Eyes for the comics. We'll get the figure in a few weeks. Hope be a no-brainer. Wonder if they look good together. So this, the double set. Captain America and Steve Rogers from The Winter Soldier. They're shield collectors, by the way. And there have been many third-party companies that made many different shields for these Captain Americas. This one has a different shield in it. This is the last of my Captain Americas I'll need to be unboxing. I think I'll be caught up with all of them at that point. Don't remember. I'm sure there's one that I've missed. I think there's a green suited one, isn't there? That I don't think I have. Where he's just in like his regular army duds. Maybe I'm wrong. And I think I've got an Army uniform on order that's been on order for years from a third-party company that's never arrived. Two clamshells here. Start with the bottom one. Big Toy Store delivered my other team suit, Iron Man team suit that's up there behind me. I don't know whether I'm going to open that or not. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. They overproduced those and didn't produce any of the others. So this feels metal. I don't know, but I think these are metal shields. Crotch grabbers. Piece that goes on his back to hold his shield on the back. And I don't remember what this is. Maybe it holds a shield also. Don't remember. We'll get to that in a quick second. This came off of his figure base. Needs to be glued back on. That one there. This is the one that hasn't come off. It says Steve Rogers. This is the one that did come off. See what the glue was. I've not seen that happen before. That's new to me. That's new to me. See, when was this figure? Where's the year? Two 2014. On these two figures. So we get a totally beat up, worn out Captain America shield here. I mean, just totally beat up and worn out. And yeah, that's metal. That's a metal shield. And then we get the stealth suit shield. Looks pretty cool for shield collectors. And like I said, there's third-party companies that make these shields. You can buy them many times through that. In case you didn't have these shields, if you just wanted to collect You know, the shields. Didn't he ride his Harley in like this regular outfit? The jacket feels like it's made of nylon and then the blue jean material. So I would not feel scared to disassemble this, put a Fison body in here. Some of you that want to put a more fitting body on to Steve, you know, the super soldier. I don't think that this uniform would dissolve, unlike some of the other clothed materials in the uniforms. If you start taking it off the body, you're going to destroy the uniform, the clothes. I don't get that impression with this. Now, if you do decide to do that, don't do it because I told you to. You're on your own. If you ever decide to disassemble one of your Hot Toys figures, you are on your own. There's really no going back. Once you go for it, you got to go for it. You can't like start and then change your mind. There's not much opportunity to go backwards once you start taking apart a Hot Toys figure. You are committed. But yeah, I bet you could take this all off. It doesn't appear to be anything in here that looks like it might dissolve or fall apart should you decide to swap it out for a more muscular Fison style body. Like the bottom of the jeans are dirty. He's got his shit kicker boots. I was speaking to somebody this last week from Italy. I made a comment about shit kickers, and they said, "What are shit kickers?" They knew what cowboy boots were, and they didn't know what shit kickers were. It's one of those words you really don't know how to explain. You really don't know how to put it into words to somebody that just isn't familiar with the the slang of things. There really is no real definition of shit kicker boots. I guess they're just regular old, not fancy work cowboy style boots. Unlike, you have your dress boots, your fancy going out clubbing or going out to Sunday school boots. They're just traditional work boots that you don't care about getting dirty. It's shit kickers. What are shit kickers? We just take it for granted that everybody knows what we're talking about. So we have a couple of, I don't know what you call these, grasping or reaching or extended hands in that manner. A couple of fists on him. Oh, come on. Let me get my tweezers. Left and right hand grasping, holding hands. And then a left and a right relaxed hands. Wrist pegs for both figures. If I remember correctly, this figure you could buy by itself, but in order to get to Steve Rogers, you had to buy this dual set, if I remember correctly. And then we have a helmet. I'll check the instruction manual, see if it says whether or not it goes on the head or not. I'm assuming not, looking at it right here. I'm assuming it's something that he would just hold in his hand or under his arm. And here he is as the Winter Soldier. Didn't he like dive out of the plane as they were flying over the beginning of the movie without a parachute? Steve Rogers is insane. I like when in Avengers, when Tony was trying to test everybody versus his suit to see how formidable his suit was. He kept trying to provoke everyone to fight him. He wanted to see how they would stand up against his suit or vice versa. In the comics, if I remember correctly, he had a buster for every hero and or villain. Like there's a Thor buster, for instance. Looks pretty good. I like the little flag on this shoulder there and his name, Rogers. I like how they did that. I don't remember that detail in the movie, so that's nice that they of course captured it. So here we are again with these reaching style hands. And I'm assuming, I don't know, a shield hand or something. I don't know. Also kind of just relaxed reaching, not really, I guess a relaxed hand. No, not really, because here's the relaxed hands, or a relaxed hand. It's hard to say. I guess these are the shield hands. Or maybe they're just relaxed hands. Each one's a little different, the left and right here. And finally we have the old definitely the nose picker. That's the nose picker. See what the instruction manual says. Came with a prior driver, little plastic, flat-headed. Plier driver in the instruction manual. Figure out what that's for. Maybe that's the secret on the shield. I've been having problems with shields from day one, getting the shields on the arms of these guys. Never had a shield that ever cooperated. Maybe that's why. Maybe they're supposed to be using that plier driver to put it on. So we have the stealth shield and a heavy battle damage shield, only available in Captain America and Steve Rogers collectible figure set. So the one with all the paint removed on it. Without buying a third party. The only way to get it was through this set. Shows how to put the shield on. Using the little clips, which hands to use. It says the Steve Rogers is only available in the dual set. It says to put the hand onto the shield first, and then to snap the hand onto the wrist. So that's the proper way of putting the shield onto a Captain America. In case you were curious. I always was, because I always screwed it up. So this is a handcuff, it says. This also shows specifically how to hang the shield on the back of the suit. If you guys can see that whole thing there. Steve Rogers' head is interchangeable with the Winter Soldier head. So you can display the Steve Rogers head on the Winter Soldier head, if you wish. This cuff opens up on both sides, so it's split down the middle and opens up both ways. Total of 2 hinges, one on each side. No more hinges than that. It's called a handcuff. And then it will seal up to be closed. Did it have something to do with how he held his shield to his hand? Is that what that was? I don't remember. It says you can detach this belt on the Winter Soldier. Gives you instructions on how to do that, what not to do in doing that. And it's saying don't scratch the shield with sharp objects, otherwise it may cause damage or paint fading. And it shows you non-detachable pieces of the suit as well. Now, I don't know what we're supposed to use the pliers for. I mean the prior to remove the head sculpt from this figure. That's what they give you the prior driver for. And now you know. And now you know. In case you were curious. Yeah, I'm loving my Captain Americas now. I really am. Um, now that I'm chasing them down and trying to collect them all. Absolutely loving them in the collection. Just don't have a place to put them yet. I've got Detolfs. I have a place. I just don't have the Detolfs built. So I don't have a place for those. Out of room. So what do we do for the next hour? These are all Star Wars that I haven't gone through yet. And this Doctor Strange. And I have a Hulk and Bruce Banner. Other than that, I would be caught up on everything. I never had an Avengers Hulk, so I got him over there in the box. This is the Infinity War Doctor Strange. This was a figure that I initially had pre-ordered and then had to cancel when the doctor's bills became too much for my wife a few years back when she had her cardiac arrest. As a matter of fact, this was the only figure I lost a security deposit on when I couldn't get it out. So I have the Doctor Strange. This is a little different. I bought the arms as well. I planned on displaying him with the images of Icon arms. So I was really happy about getting this figure when it was originally ready to be sent to me. So it's been many years coming to me. This one has. Of course, the cape with its mind of its own, more or less. I wonder if I could figure out a way of using this to display the cape itself. I have the cape hanging on a posing stand behind Doctor Strange, my original Doctor Strange. Wrist pegs. I had only one serious buyer contact me about my van. I bought a van, custom wheelchair ramp, brawn ability van for my wife, because she was bedbound, wheelchair bound in her final days before passing away. I bought the van and she died like 2 weeks later. And now I have this custom wheelchair van that I have zero use for. I paid cash for. I'm trying to sell. And just like they say, as soon as you drive it off the lot, you lose huge. The best offer I got on it is a $20,000 less than what I paid for it. And I literally put 200 miles on the van. Brand new. So that sucks, losing out on $20,000. But I have to say, those couple of weeks that my wife got to ride in the van were worth it. She missed that being able to go places, as she became more and more debilitated in her final days. So those couple of weeks of freedom, if you will, were joyous to her, I believe. I think she really enjoyed it. And I guess I have to chalk that up to a $20,000 experience, right? So that's more than what a minimum wage employee makes in a year. I'm losing on trying to sell a van that I bought for my wife. Entire year's salary. Add that up for 2 weeks worth of my wife being able to be driven around. So pros and cons of when they do this. The pros are, there they are. You can, keep this together without it being in your box in the garage or in the storage shed or whatever, and have all of your hands that you need. This has given us hands that we didn't have at the first Doctor Strange. I had to make custom hands for the first Doctor Strange in order to be able to do his incantations, right? Is that the right word? Incarnations? No, incantations, right? They didn't include the proper hand positions for some of them in the original Doctor Strange. They did include them with this one. So I bought an extra set of hands for the first figure in order to be able to pose him properly, and trying to glue those up together. These hands don't appear to be as scarred as the original Doctor Strange. Just initial impression looking at them. But like I said, the good thing about them being in this separate piece instead of being, loosely in this, so you can keep them all together right there. I like that. Whenever they do this, I like this. Whenever they do that with it. You don't have to do this. If you want to dump them all into your box, like I keep them all in their little trays, if you want to dump them all in there, you can do that too. But sometimes it's nice to keep them all together. That obviously ain't going to fit in the tray. here again as well. There was also something was wrong with the ring that he was given in the first Doctor Strange figure from Hot Toys. It was the wrong ring. If I remember correctly, also, and you can check back on my video that I did back then, I'm pretty sure it's the wrong ring that they gave us. So maybe it's the right ring on this time. And I don't remember, not up to it. I'm not up to snuff on the rings currently as I was then. I'll have to check that out. But these are the two rings that they gave us here. If you can see them. Gosh dang it, it's dropped one. But again, here we are with the little self-contained box to keep them in. So I like it when they do this. This is good thinking, in my opinion. We get the sword that he fabricated out of the energy. And I forget what these were called. Ribbons, I think. Are they not separable? Do they not separate? Yeah. It don't appear that they were supposed to be separable. Looks like they were supposed to be glued together, and then I just separated it there. So there's a little piece there that has a tab and slot. It's like it's supposed to be together. I forget what these were called. Another thing that I didn't care for on the first figure was these were supposed to be different discs, according to the movie, and they essentially were just identical. They just cast one and shoved it in there for both, and it looks to be the same thing here as well for the discs. Put his little hands inside there to hold it. And then we have this square one, which I think is new as well. Same thing. So different discs from the first movie. Cumberbatch. They really did good jobs in casting these actors for these roles. Cumberbatch did a real good job portraying Doctor Strange. Again, I didn't read the Doctor Strange comics. I knew of Doctor Strange when it crossovers from the Spider-Man comics that I read. So I really didn't know anything about him. But I remember the images, and they did a good job of making Cumberbatch here look like him from the comics, I thought. Great origin story. And my goodness, with the Loki television show, I don't want to say much. The show is still out there new. Some people may be waiting for the series to end before subscribing to Disney. I don't want to talk about it too much. I don't want to ruin it for anybody that hasn't seen it. But so far, both Loki episodes are really good. And that doesn't always hold water. Normally, the first episode is really good. The last episode is normally really good. Unless Game of Thrones or Lost, or something on that line where they decide to screw everything up. But it's the middle ones that seem to not get as much attention. Even in the Mandalorian series, there's a one middle episode that's just really difficult to watch. And like, oh, God, this is terrible. But it's kind of needed for the whole story. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, same thing. A couple of the middle episodes were really painful to get through. And a lot of times the directors and writers know that. They know that the story is difficult. It's stuff that has to be told. Sometimes it's background information. Sometimes it's behind the main story information that is just, oh my God, this is painful. Why are we having to go through this? Well, because it's story. It's development story that needs to be told. And it's just not interesting, you know? You know, it's like watching a football game on television versus being taught the rules and how and strategies of a football game. You know, the exciting part is watching the game. Even if you don't understand what's going on in the game, even if you don't know what the rules are, what the penalties are, why a penalty was assessed, or why they decided to throw or pass or hand off or carry the ball or kick, you know, it's exciting. But to sit there and be told all the rules, all the penalties, all the strategies, that's not very exciting. You want to watch the game. But it's necessary to be able to understand the game. And so far, Loki, in my opinion, hasn't had that episode yet. That's like, oh God, here's the painful one where we're being told everything and there's no action. There's no, you know, it's just, oh God, just get me through this episode. Mandalorian definitely had one of those episodes. And Winter Soldier and the Falcon definitely had a couple of those episodes that were just painful. Just, oh God, why are we having to watch this? They put some tape around his neck to keep I imagine, the paint on the neck from getting onto the suit and or the suit from rubbing the paint off of the neck. If you remember, each one of these head sculpts is individually hand painted. Each one of them are, making each one a unique work of art. Believe it or not. JC Hong and his team in Korea. That's who does the head sculpts. Hot Toys figures themselves are based out of Hong Kong. Guarantee they're all made in China. Oh, oh, I was about to ask where the figure stand was, and it's the tall right here. This one. So I just read there, Robert asking about whether I could trade for another vehicle. I contacted the dealership when my wife died. I mean, like the next day, I called them up. Those bastards. They were like, "Well, Kelly Blue Book on it says $45,000." I said, "Are you kidding me right now? Are you absolutely kidding me right now? You're going to give me $45,000 where 2 weeks ago I gave you $77,000 for it." So that's the best we can do. So I've held on to it, obviously, at that price. Tried to justify owning it myself too. It's not a practical van for somebody who doesn't have need of wheelchair accessible van. It's totally customized. Braun cuts the van off the frame, raises it up 14 inches, puts a new steel plate, rubber decking. The middle row of seats are gone. There's a ramp that comes down. The front seats come out. I mean, the whole 9 yards is designed for people that are wheelchair bound and need access to their own private vehicle. And it's just not practical for anyone else. It's just, if I needed a minivan, I wouldn't need this degree of a minivan for my personal self. And it's not really a storage van. It's not like, oh, well, you have enough room that you can use it to move material around. It's not. It's just an impractical van for somebody who doesn't need handicap equipment. But I wasn't planning on my wife dying so quickly. Figured I had a few years left at least. I knew she was dying. She died actually when she had her cardiac arrest. She was dead on table for between 10 and 20 minutes. No brain activity, no breathing, no heart activity. They were able to resuscitate her in between 10 and 20 minutes. They didn't say exactly how long she was out. They didn't know exactly how long she was out. But she was out under 20 minutes, but greater than 10 minutes. And there's a reason why that's important, because the amount of brain damage that happens is based off of how long you're without oxygen to the brain. And 20 minutes is the max that they will resuscitate you at the hospital. If you've been without oxygen to the brain for more than 20 minutes, they will not continue resuscitation activities. They will end all life-saving resuscitation at that point, because the extent of brain damage will be so severe that they cannot guarantee you a quality of life at that point. During the first 10 minutes of lack of oxygen to the brain, they are confident that they can resuscitate you and brain damage be minimal to virtually none. Between 10 to 20 minutes, they know for fact there will be brain damage that you will sustain if you're without oxygen to your brain for more than 10 minutes. There will be brain damage. They do not know what portions of the brain will be damaged and to what extent the damage will be, but it is guaranteed that you will be brain damaged during that time frame. And this is what they keep in mind, these doctors keep in mind as they're trying to resuscitate you should you ever have a cardiac arrest or are without oxygen to the brain. How long has it been that you've been without oxygen to the brain? And then that is how they determine what to do to try to revive you. They don't, it is not, it's never their intention to bring you back into a vegetable state for you to spend the rest of your life on life support without any quality of life. That's not any doctor's intention ever to do that. It's just against their absolute ethical morals. So at 20 minutes, they stop it. So my wife was between 10 and 20 when she had her cardiac arrest. All right, here's the instruction manual. For this Infinity Wars Doctor Strange. So it shows how to put the Eye of Agamotto over his head, and how the cape attaches via magnet over his shoulders, where to hang the rings on his body, and how to attach the aura onto his hands, mandalas of light, and sling rings. And this is how using the squared shaped mystic artifact, the battle mystic artifact, the green colored mandalas of light, the orange colored mandalas of light, and then the final section is how to put the ropes mystic art effect on his arm, and using the dynamic figure stand. I'm not a big fan of these new stands with these sliding up and down lobster claws on them. Just not a fan of them at all. I am curious though if I can figure out to use this to try to display the shield, because the other shield I have, cape, I have it just hanging on this as such, but I'm wondering if there's any way I can use this as well to hold this cape up. I don't remember getting one of these with the other Doctor Strange outfit. But the cape in amongst itself is its own figure, essentially, truthfully. For some reason this cape appears different. me go get the other Doctor Strange. Maybe I might be able to get him. He's in the corner. Dusty. He's been there a while. He has been there a while. So, this was a hand that I had to make here. On the original Doctor Strange, that finger position didn't come with that. So I bought a whole new set of hands and bent the fingers down and glued them to themselves in order to be able to achieve that pose, because it didn't come with the original set. So it's nice to see that he did include it with this. Dusty. He has not been touched since being put in that corner. My goodness. Dusty. Let's look at these two capes. So what I've done here to display this cape is I took his base and put a crotch grabber up at the top of it, and then take this cape and just rest it on this, and the magnet in the cape holds it to the crotch grabber. And so then I could have Doctor Strange standing in front of his cape as such. That's how he's displayed. So I'm curious if the cape is the same cape. It's supposed to be, obviously, here. All right, so this cape has a very stiff, the original cape, it's a very stiff piece here in its back to give it this appearance. You see it standing up on its own there. It's standing up on its own. All right. That's how stiff this is on the original cape. This cape, not so. Not stiff at all, actually. Very flexible. So depending on what it is you want in regards to posing your cape, whether you want a stiff one or a flexible one, that would be the main difference between these two. The newer one is lighter in color, actually. A little lighter red. Different sewing at the top of the very top of the cape. There's a stitch on the second one that is not on the first one. You don't get the folded back collars here on the second one that you do on the first one, if you notice. totally standing up straight here, bent down. The wire in the first cape is stronger than the wire in the second cape for posing. If there's even one in here, I can think I feel one. It might not be. There's one in the bottom. I'm talking about in the fronts. There's one on the right. I can't tell if the left one has a wire in it or not for, articulating the cape. Whereas this one, there's a wire in both the fronts. And nothing in the bottom. This one has it in the right side. And the bottom. So different wires in the capes for different posing. This one, there's nothing in the bottom, but it's on both the left and right side. Very interesting that these capes being two totally differently designed capes. The patchworks are a little bit different shapes on the two capes. Definitely. As well as the patchwork on the inside. So they don't, looks like they don't have an exacting pattern that they're following in regards to where it's placed or positioned inside this, because the little pieces are in different areas. So this little, I don't know if you can see it or not, this little orange and blue area here, which is really close to this corner of the cape here, in comparison to this one, is really far away from that corner. It's actually more towards the center. So, and it's down towards the bottom of the cape on this one, and here it's up towards the middle of the cape. Very interesting. I didn't realize there'd be such differences in these. It's very interesting, actually. So there you have it, justification as to why you would need both Doctor Stranges. And I think he's a little more white here on his, I forget what they call that, when you white streak in your hair. When your hair develops those white streaks. Where's this little piece here? And this definitely holds up better. This piece does. With that cape. I could probably put that on without the crotch grabber and a tall rod. So I could probably use this piece from this Doctor Strange, the new one, with the older cape, and then without putting a crotch grabber in here, just put a tall rod in here. Even use a clear one, and then that'll support it quite nicely. With a clear rod, you wouldn't even see it. I like that. That'll work out. I don't remember getting this piece. I don't remember this being in the original Doctor Strange figure. Maybe it was. I just don't remember it. Entirely possible. Entirely possible. But this works also, though, with the magnet that just grabs hold of that. And that is how I display my Doctor Strange. This one I was planning on putting him into the cross legs and putting the arms of Icon, arms of Icon behind him, where he's doing all this action. That's what my plan was originally with this. Now I almost need another one. So, how else are you guys doing? I've got a bunch of Star Wars figures to unbox. I mean, a bunch. So that's probably what I'll be doing over the next couple of weeks. Maybe I'll do the Hulk, Avengers Hulk, which I've wanted forever and just never got around to. So I finally have that with the Bruce Banner. I bought the Bruce Banner in an Age of Ultron Hulk, but I never had the Bruce Banner and Avengers Hulk. So I've had him. He's been sitting here for a couple of months now, actually. So we'll get to him probably next week. And then I'll have a second Bruce Banner. Don't know what to do with that. And the only thing I've really got coming from pre-orders is the 2 Fights and Mail bodies. So I have the one, which I think is a 34. And I'll be getting, I think it's a 33 and a 35 that I ordered that are coming. Don't know quite yet what to do with them. Maybe one of the Steves. Don't know. So there's nothing else you guys want to talk about. I guess we can wrap this up. Yeah, there's lots of figures, lots of supporting characters that they need to get figures of. I've seen some third parties of some of them that I've passed or missed out on. Like there was a third party they made for I forget her name. His mentor. What was it called? The Ancient One? Was it the Ancient One? Is that what she was called? I've seen a third party on that and I didn't get it. But yeah, there's lots of supporting characters that we really need. Like we finally got a Colby Smulders many years ago, and she was really, I guess, instrumental in completing the Shield because she was in every movie for the most part. So it was nice to see her finally get a character, and like Phil Coulson as well. These are supporting roles, but they're kind of main characters because they're in all the movies. And they killed Phil, and Colby was still in the other movies. So, thanks very much for tuning in. I don't post to social media anymore. Social media is evil. It's bad. It's just gone bad. If you enjoy the channel, like it, share it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, so you know when I have a video coming out. But for the most part, be here every Saturday morning at 7 o'clock Pacific time. But I just try to make it every time. I've missed a couple of them in my life. One, I just wasn't well for various reasons. But for the most part, you can count on me being here same time every week. Even if I don't have a video that says I'm going to be here, like I did this morning, I posted it like, gosh, just 15 minutes before 7 o'clock to get it going. So you can always find me here. And if you want to support me, if you want to throw a tip towards my way for just to let me know that you guys love me, I have a Patreon account, www.patreon.com/Siri Emerald, SIRIEMERALD. And I've got nothing to give you, but it's a nice little tip. You know, if you enjoy your waitress bringing you your burger without spitting in it, you give her a couple dollars at the end of the day. If you enjoy the time you spend with me, give me $1 or so. Thank you very much. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. Trust me, it doesn't pay for my figures. It's just a nice way to know that you care what I'm doing. That's all. Thank you very much for doing that. If you want to send me anything, I have a P.O. box that should be listed in the description below. You can send me letters, cards, money, figures, whatever you want, or nothing. But if you feel so inclined to reach out that way, you certainly can. I appreciate all of you guys. My wife, when I first started the channel, she was skeptical. She she tolerated. She always tolerated. She loved me to death. She always tolerated my hobbies, if you will, and so she tolerated the YouTube channel, and she always enjoyed hearing about you guys, and she took comfort knowing that you guys were here for me to open up to. So thank you guys for being there. It was her comfort. You guys were her comfort, knowing that I would have a source when she leaves. And you guys give me that. So thank you for being here for me as well. I appreciate and love every one of you guys. So anyhow, I will see you next week. Where's my mouse? Sign out of this a little early. Normally I like to try to get it 2 hours. Doesn't seem to be much else to really talk about. So I'll catch you all next week. I love you all. Bye.